Hi, I'm Tony Williams and you're welcome once again to Know What I Now Know. As always, I like to start by thanking and acknowledging all those who've taken it upon themselves to reach out to me over the last few weeks for the previous posts that I put out there. I want to say all your feedback, your encouragement, your comments, your likes, your shares, they're all highly appreciated. They get me super excited. They're literally like fuel to my tank to keep me going on this journey. So thank you ever so much. Everything you said in one way or another is taken on board and it's highly appreciated, as I said. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing and I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and together we'll get ourselves from a good place to a greater place. So thank you ever so much. It's also a good place as well to say that for those who are seeing me for the first time, hi. It's the way the post is designed is for the post to be sort of interrelated with each other. So every post I put out is in sequence or in relation to the previous post on how and the steps that I think are actually necessary, or the steps that I thought were necessary for my own transformational change. If there are videos that you would have missed in the past due to the fact that you're seeing me for the first time, it's a very good idea to sort of check out the backlog of the other videos that I put out there. Not only would it bring you in sequence to where we are, but it would also give you an idea of what this post is all about and the journey that I think we all should walk together. So the way you could do that is by subscribing to my website or my YouTube channel, or like my Facebook page, you know, or just drop me an email and I'll add you on the list, and I'll send you newsletters, or I'll send you prompts when the posts I put out there. And that way we'll all be in sequence and we'll never miss a bit. We'll never miss a thing. So having said that and having clarified that, I must not forget to say thank you once again. Those acts are really appreciated and they're very encouraging. Thank you. Let's dive right into it. So today I want to talk about the importance of gaining knowledge for the steps, or about the steps we want to take. So if we've found ourselves in a situation and we want to remove ourselves from that situation to go to a higher level, it's important to gain understanding, to gain knowledge, probably to gain wisdom about that place. The reason being is when we gain knowledge, understanding and wisdom about this place, when we reach that level, we would be able to sustain ourselves at that level. The reason why I think a lot of people get to a stage in life and then drop back to where they're coming from is because, one, they're unprepared, and two, they have no knowledge into that territory they stepped in. When you find yourself at a place where you have the knowledge of your environment, you know how the system works, you know the right people to hang around with, you know the right things to say, it's highly unlikely that anything that is brought to you there would sort of rattle your cage or joggle your confidence a bit and would make you want to retreat, I should say, back into your formal self or your formal cage. So that's why it's quite important to gain knowledge. And to gain knowledge of these things, it could depend on so many variables. If you, for instance, and I say that because you can also learn on the job, so to say. So for instance, you could be given a promotion, but whilst you're promoted to the next level, then you gain training whilst you're there. But I'll explain that later. What I'm trying to say is the way we gain the knowledge could really depend on different variables. Some of those variables are by surrounding ourselves with people who already been there, done that, so in way of people who are presently there who are working in that field. You know, if we begin to associate ourselves with them, we lean closer to them, we could always learn. You know, the knowledge that we have in ourselves now has only got us up to this point. And that's why we're at this point. That's why it's difficult to move forward, because everything just seems confused. We don't have no proper, you know, view, or our view is obscured. We don't know which way to go. It's just like, you know, it's all a brick wall and it's all like muddy waters. But when you find someone who's navigated through those waters and you begin to relate yourself to him, it's easy for him or her to just lead you by the hand along as you walk or as you remain in that territory. Do you know? So that's what I'm saying, that the knowledge that we have now got us up to this place. So if I wanted to move from where I am now into a greater place, I can't rely on my present knowledge, because this is where my current knowledge, so to say, it ends. This is where I cap it at. Unless I go and I study to show myself approved to go to the next level, then this is where I would be. And that studying doesn't have to come in way of books, although books are very good depending on the field that you want to go to. You know, there's actually a popular saying that says there's no answers that are hidden, or that there's no questions that don't have answers, so to say. They're all just hidden in books. You know, there's wherever we want to be in life, there's someone who's been there before us. You know, so if we want to do something that we've never done, we have to try and be uncomfortable. We can't sit in our comfort zone. We can't sit in the comfortability of our understanding and say, okay, I'm going to move over to the next level. We need to relate ourselves to people who are more knowledgeable than us in that area. We need to affiliate ourselves with them. We need to start, you know, romancing them and you know, networking with them and hanging around them more often, and begin, you know, success has clues. You know, if you only move closer to it or pay attention to it, every form of success has a clue. You know, but the thing is, you can't see the clue from afar, and you can't see the clues sitting in your comfort zone, because if your comfort zone was so comfortable, then we won't be faced, or if my comfort zone was so comfortable, then I wouldn't need to go through a transformational change. That today I could look at my life and then I could see that it's almost unrecognizable to what it used to be. You know, it's testament that I have friends that would look at me and say, T, but bruv, we don't even see you here. Oh, we don't even, you know, you've changed, you've gone, you know. But yeah, that's the transformation I had to go through. And I mean, yes, I found awareness in myself to do that, but I also found strength from the people who lifted me up onto the next level. And that's how important it is. The knowledge could be in people, it could be in books, it could be in you, it could be in spirituality, it could be in mentors, it could be in motivational speakers. You just personally have to choose whatever is good for you, because I can't determine what exactly is good for you, because I don't know what situation you're going through. But what I can say is that you cannot do the same things and expect different results. You can't expect, you know, to move to the next level and not take a step forward, and then if you take that step forward and you just manage to step into the next level, you can't expect to sustain yourself there if you're not knowledgeable about that level. After a while, you know what I mean, it would show that, you know, you're not a part of this clique, you know, and then self-confidence would begin to diminish, because, you know, you can't open your mouth when you're meant to open your mouth appropriately and in accordance to how they speak, or, you know, you can't dialogue with them in a way, or if it's on a job, you know, you're always not, you know, doing the job right, because you just don't have knowledge about it. But you know, once you've taken action, or once you realize that, look, I have to take action to move away. And action, by the way, taking decisive action was the last post I put out there. So once you decided that you want to take decisive action, yes, you have the picture of the action that you want to take in your mind. Yes, you know that where you are now is not what you know you think is embedded in your DNA for where you should be, and you figured out within yourself that, you know what, I need to move to a better level. Before you head on to that level, you need to sit back and you need to map out, you know, how you would sustain yourself at that level. Because isn't it ironic how people get millions of pounds and then millions of dollars, you know, and a few years down the line they're just back, you know, where they were at the start, or back, you know, to nothing. People who win the lottery, people who, you know, who just come across millions in or mad money, I should say, just suddenly, because they've got no knowledge of, you know, how to use the money efficiently, or they've got no financial, you know, backing behind them, or, you know, they just think the money would fly in and it would fly out. But if you've got knowledge, if you schooled yourself properly, if you surround yourself with people who have that sort of money around you, you know, they could tell you that, and they're sustained there. They're just not, you know, temporary millionaires, or people who just, you know, found money in, you know, today and it's disappeared tomorrow. People who were sustained there, people who were established, you know, people who were used to having that kind of money or figures around them. You know, the minute you go into their circle, they will be telling you how you could make that money, you know, be sustainable, how you could invest it, how you could put it into things that, you know, you could sit on a beach somewhere and that money will be yielding returns for you, as opposed to getting that money and just being with people who were just used to spending money anyhow anyway. You know, because, you know, they're used to spending it anyhow, you lean close to them, you think you've got so much money, and then you begin to spend the money anyhow, and before you know it, you just become right back at where you started from, at zero. So that's why it's quite important, you know, those are simple examples in why you should know, or why we should know, that for anything, you know, gain knowledge. Knowledge is the principal thing, you know, in anything that you want to gain, you have to gain knowledge, you know, because where we are is not where we want to be, and that's why, you know, we're always striving to get to a next place, and we strive because sometimes we just don't know the right way to do it. When we do know the right way to do it, either, you know, by us being told, or by, you know, us having understanding, or us having enlightenment of what the task becomes much more easier. In fact, the progress to the next step, it becomes just so easy. We just begin to, you know, glide, you know, from one level to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, and that's where we find fulfillment, one, and secondly, we find sustainability. You know, we are who we are because we've sort of risen from areas that we never thought we were risen from, or we've been dropped in places that we never thought we would be dropped into. So, you know, if we want to get away from where we are, if we want to get away from those things that are making us uncomfortable and unfulfilled, and those things that we're just tolerating and that captivating the kind of abundance that we think we need in our life, we need to start surrounding ourselves with the people who are actually living in that kind of abundance. Those people, you know, the Bible says iron sharpens iron. So you know, you need to be around someone who could sharpen you, you know, because when you're around that person who could sharpen you, you know, you begin to be like him. He begins to mold you, or she begins to mold you into their kind of line of work. Isn't it? It's not ironic that, you know, we all fell off course through bad gangs. You know, we didn't set out to be in bad gangs, you know, but we started affiliating and relying on bad gangs. We started gaining knowledge to the way they lived and to the way they did things and to the way they sold, they dealt, they hustled, you know, and then we became experts at it ourselves. And that's exactly how it is. In order to flip the screen into a, you know, from a bad to a good and then to get to a greater place, we need to start affiliating ourselves with those people who are living that greater and satisfied life. You know, it's never going to be easy. I'm not saying it's, you know, it's just a cherry on the cake, it's just a walk in the park, sorry. It's never going to be easy. It's always going to be difficult. It's always going to be challenging. It's always going to be intimidating, you know, but if you want it that bad, if you want it bad enough, if you want it bad enough, if you got to that place where you're pushed to the wall and you know that backwards is not your portion, but forward is where you're going to be going and gunning for, then, you know, if it even takes you to humble and to reduce your ego small, you know, just so that you could step back to catapult forward with the right people, then I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know, I could remember the very first time years back, and I've got my friend who's probably listened to this, and he probably could testify to it, years back, and I'm saying years, I don't know, I must have been 17, 18, I don't know. The very first time, and at that time I was doing perfectly okay. I was, you know, the funds were coming in at a very young age. I was doing, you know, whatever I was doing good. And we had our own set of, you know, sort of postcode friends. So we had our own set of postcode friends and we were doing all right. And then one of my other friends who was in a different postcode, he had their own set and they were doing their own things. And, you know, news dropped from, you know, in the streets that this, my guy from the other postcode, he had made himself sort of 11 to 12, I think 11 to 15,000 pounds cash at like 17. You know, we were there, everybody in my area or my postcode had their shoulders high and were there, yeah, so what, we can make it, we can do it. Me, I didn't. As much as that I was making my own one there, I crossed postcodes to go and meet the guy and sat down with him, and I brought what I had to add to what he had. And I could tell you, and he would testify, that's probably been one of the best business relationships that I've had. Legal or illegal, whatever you want to call it. Probably one of the best business relationships. And I humbled myself to go up there. But I still went with something, and I gained so much knowledge in that field and that area. But that's just a prime example, because obviously, you know, we're talking about knowing what I know now. So the principles are still the same. You know, back then I didn't consider myself too big to go off to someone else who suddenly earned more than me, to go and, you know, learn what he did or learn about what he did or how he made that money, and to my benefit, you know, we did so many things together and earned so much money together. And that's just how it is. And now taking that sort of analogy and flipping it, you know, into sort of a corporate world or a business world or world of entrepreneurship, or, you know, just relationship, whichever, whatever you want to learn, whatever stage you want to get to in life, it's a good thing to carry yourself from where you are. If you're frustrated, broke, busted and disgusted where you are now, you know, reach out, go on, you know, search engines, look for people who do the same thing, you know, drop them an email, or, you know, get a telephone number, give them a call, arrange a business meeting. I mean, that's what I do. I sort of work in West End, you know, I meet people in Prep Manager, I meet people in the cafe, I meet people, and I sit down and I just, you know, exchange numbers with them. Some of them I call, some of them we call, most of them we don't even meet up. We just send emails to each other, and I mean, it's, for me, it's been beneficial in a way. So I think it's a good idea. You gain knowledge, of where you want to go, find a way of how and who and where and when you could gain the knowledge for, in a way which it would affect your own plans, purpose, or transformation for your life. It's never going to be a blanket rule for everyone, because everybody has different things that they want to achieve or different desires that they want fulfilled in life. But the principle, if I say fundamentals of how it works, is still the same. You cannot be in the same place and not shift your mind, have a shift of your mind to the permanent, to the greater place you want to be. Think, work towards, and understand how they operate in that place before you get there. Because in not doing that, not saying you won't reach there, but it's highly likely that you'll find yourself back, if not worse off than where you were. Do you know, it doesn't seem, and even if you get there and it seems difficult, or it seems like it's overwhelming, or it's overbearing, or these people were too posh for you, or posh, that's the word, posh, they're too posh for you, or you know, they're just not speaking your language. At least you figured out, you've had an experience and you figured out a way of how not to do it. You know, I would rather I try something a number of times and fail forward, like fail in a way where I know I've gained an advantage over where I was, than just fail, sit there and wallow in my sorrow. That I will never let happen. So my advice is, gain as much knowledge as you can before you get there, as much wisdom and as much understanding before you move to that next level, or you step onto that next action plan that you've designed or mapped out for yourself. So as always, I like to end with a story, and the stories that I tell at the end of my post are always, I like to think are always in relation to the post. Sometimes they could be inspirational, sometimes they could be fictional, sometimes they could just be stories about myself. And as like last week, today's story in relation to this post is about myself. So last week I updated Friday's post a little bit late. I think I did it on Tuesday. This was no problem with my auto scheduler. It was because my significant other decided to take me on a marriage seminar, again to gain knowledge so we could move up to the next level. It was an awesome time with awesome counselors and awesome marriage relationship experts I should say, just giving us tips and tricks in how you could make your marriage a kingdom marriage. And I must say it was very beneficial to me, and I'll throw this out there for any of you guys who are married or who are planning to marry. It's always something to go to at least maybe once every 2 years in your marriage, just so that it could be sustainable. It's all about gaining knowledge that could sustain us, not knowledge that could just lead us and drop us back into where we came from. So we had a fantastic time. It was really awesome. I really enjoyed it. We bonded, we did husband and wife, you know, we had a great time. And then it ended with a dinner party. And at random, the MC of the party, who knows himself, decided to sort of crack some jokes. So he was pulling women out from the crowd at random, and you know, to sort of play this game with him. And for many of the husbands, we were ushering the wives to go, like, yeah, go and, you know, go and do the game, go and do the game. And this was a dinner party, remember, it was a nice dinner party, everybody was decked up nicely. So this MC decided to say, okay, so I'm glad you husbands have ushered your wives out for this game, because the game is actually on you. I'm gonna get you guys to, I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute to compose a rap on how much you love your wife. Trust me, English, music, everything failed me on the spot, you know. Like, that wasn't bad enough. The very first person that came out, he slaughtered the thing. Like, you know, the crowds were like, they were seeing Wizkid after he had finished lyrically romancing his wife. Then the next fella came out, did exactly the same. I think I came out, the third fella came out, he was lost for words after he watched the superstars, you know, and then they called my humble self. I actually went to Google lyrics, but when I was given the microphone, the lyrics failed me. So I just started singing, my woman, my everything, and then I started speaking in tongues. But having said that, I figured I owe her, because I learned, I figured I owed her the proper song. So I'll use this opportunity, since it's a public place as well, to sing it to her and say, baby, you find, da-da-da-da, there's only one love, yours and mine, da-da-da-da. I've got so much love, da-da-da-da-da, and needing you so, da-da-da. My love for you, I'll never let go, da-da-da-da. I've got so much love, da-da-da-da-da. Only you. Hey, I could hold you. Let me show how much I love you, baby. Show you. I don't mind and I don't mind. Hold you. Girl, I love you. There's no one above you. You are the sun. You are the rain that makes me play this foolish game. You need to know I love you so, and I'll do it all again and again. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep,